Hey everybody, ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchef with an extended forecast here because unfortunately it looks like it could be a fairly soggy start to the new year. But we're also, after we talk about this upcoming system, we're also going to take a quick look back at the rain and snow that we just had and see how that has impacted us in a positive way on our rainy season and also in terms of our snowpack. But first, we're going to talk about the new year because we've got another weather impact alert beginning on Wednesday, December 31st, and continuing through Saturday. It's going to be a soggy start. We're going to see rain in the valley. Initially, not much snow, but by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then we're going to start to see snow falling at the passes. And again, this is beginning on New Year's Eve. I'm expecting the first half of New Year's Eve to be mainly dry, especially in the valley. But of course, we don't have a lot of plans typically early in the day on New Year's. The second half of the day is when we have all those plans, and the second half of the day is when we've got those better rain chances on the 31st. And then for the first day of the new year, on Thursday, New Year's Day, likely to be not a complete washout necessarily, but certainly more rainy, off and on rain basically all day long as we get to 2026. We do have an atmospheric river incoming, going to bring us some moisture. Roughly a level 2 storm up along the north coast, level 3 through the Bay Area, down through Monterey Bay, and then a level 1 to level 2 storm through Southern California. So this is not as big of a storm as what we had the week of Christmas when we had this really long duration atmospheric river event. That storm came in at a level 4, AR4 extreme storm. So again, not as big, but still there's definitely some moisture to be had with this incoming system that will begin to impact us on New Year's Eve. So this is New Year's Eve at 10 o'clock in the morning. Futurecast shows some rain up in the high country and some isolated showers through the valley early in the day on Wednesday. But again, as we go through the afternoon and into the evening hours, this is now 6 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday, we got a lot more widespread showers across the valley. Not much snow. Snow levels are going to be pretty high to start with this system. This is now 9 o'clock in the evening on December 31st. Still pretty showery. By the time we get to midnight, things may get a little drier for some areas. As we ring in 2026, some areas may be fairly showery. If you're looking at this model, and again, this is a model, it's just giving you an idea. It's not guaranteed to be rainy in Woodland while Sacramento starts to dry out and we see rain in Stockton, but not any in Modesto. This is just a model. It's going to give you an idea that we're going to see some scattered showers across the valley. So the idea here that we should all be thinking is as we get to midnight on January 1st, some parts of the valley may be showery. Other parts of the valley and Delta and parts of Northern California may be mainly dry as we get to midnight. So we're just going to have to wait and see to see where those showers are going to be as we get to Wednesday evening and we get towards the start of 2026. But again, this is just giving you an idea that we're going to be looking at those scattered showers through midnight. Then a little bit maybe of a winding down as we're kind of a little bit between these moisture plumes as we go through January 1st into 2nd. But you see that next round of rain coming in, and it'll be colder too by the time we get to Friday and continuing into Saturday. That's when those snow levels will come in with that colder air. And that'll continue through Saturday with some rain in the valley, some snow up in the high country, and lingering into Sunday before I expect things to be winding down by Sunday afternoon. Again, I'm going to reemphasize here, not as big of a storm as what we had the week of Christmas. 1 to 2 inches of rain across the valley, maybe not even 2 inches for some places, and then 3 to 5 inches of water up in the high country for the most part. And some of this is going to be rain, some of that is going to be snow, but it's not going to be immediate snow. Again, snow levels are going to be pretty high on the 31st and the 1st. Roughly 8,000 to 9,000 feet. Could be lower briefly at times, but that storm coming in is going to be warm on Thursday. By the time we get to Friday, though, now we're talking about more consistent pass level snow, and that continues Saturday into Sunday with snow levels between about 5,000 and 6,000 feet this weekend. So most of that snow is going to be falling as we get into the weekend. So weather impact alert Wednesday evening through Saturday. This obviously does include New Year's Eve. Valley rain and Sierra snow, 1 to 2 inches of valley rain. That is for the duration of this event, though, right all the way through Saturday, lingering into Sunday. This is not 1 to 2 inches of rain on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, right? We're not talking about a flood event here. We're just talking about some off and on showers that'll be fairly consistent from Wednesday night through into the weekend. The Sierra snow is not really going to start, like we talked about, until we get to Friday, especially the latter half of Friday, because those snow levels are going to be fairly high. Warm sector of that storm, so mainly rain until we get towards the end of the week and into the weekend. All this to say, just consider those holiday plans, whether it's the evening of the 31st, whether it's during the day on the 1st. There's going to be rain in the area. Not necessarily talking about a lot of thunderstorms, not necessarily talking about severe weather, not necessarily talking about, really heavy snowfall amounts once we get to the weekend. It's just impactful because of when it's happening, right? New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, continuing through the first few days of the year. A lot of folks probably off, so maybe you've got plans to be outside or plans to go somewhere for New Year's Eve or day. Again, this is just why we've got that weather impact alert. Yeah, we're kind of used to rain and snow this time of year, but because, again, we've all got those holiday plans. I'm just putting it out there, something to be mindful of. Let's look back on that Christmas storm, though. In terms of rainfall, we'll start with the rainfall. From Saturday, December 20th through Saturday, December 27th, here are our final rainfall totals. Auburn, and these numbers did not change much. We only saw very light showers through Saturday, December 27th. So Auburn, 4.73 inches of rain. Placerville, also over 4.7 inches of rain. Orangevale, almost 4 inches of rain. That's on the east side of Sacramento. A lot of the eastern suburbs of Sacramento, Folsom, Roseville, obviously Orangevale, you look towards Rancho Cordova, Rancho Murrieta, anything on the east side of town saw a lot more rain than places on the west side of town, on the south side of town. In fact, as we look at Sacramento here, 1.86 inches of rain. This is measured at Sacramento Executive Airport, which is south of downtown. But then you look at the International Airport up on the Notomis side of things, right? 3.38 inches of rain. So it just depends on where those, especially thunderstorms, came in. The International Airport saw a thunderstorm on Christmas Eve, the afternoon of Christmas Eve, and that prompted a flash flood warning for that area. So obviously a lot more rain fell up on the north side of town and the east side of town than it did on the south side. Similar stories down through the San Joaquin Valley, Stockton and Modesto, less than 2 inches of rain. But obviously other places saw quite a bit more. So as we look at that precip tracker for Sacramento, and I'm going to tell you again, this is for the Sacramento Executive Airport, the official observation site. This is not for the airport. The International Airport, not SMF. This is for Executive, which is that official climate site. So you see, the month of December, about 2 inches, right? 1.99 inches so far. May get a little bit more right in the final few hours of the year. The average to date is 3.2 inches. December is one of the 3 rainiest months of the year. So we are lacking in the rainfall department, but certainly the most recent storm did help. We're about 1.25 inches below normal for the month of December. But as we look at the water year, we're over 7 inches in Sacramento total. Average to date is 5 and about 3/4 of an inch of rain, which means we are about 1.34 inches above normal. So even though December's been a little bit lacking, we made up for it earlier in the water year. We got a lot of rain in November. We don't normally see a ton of rain. Certainly we see rain in November on average, but we got way more than average in November. So that really got us off on the right foot, which is why we are still above normal on the water year, despite December being somewhat lacking. Snow, we really needed this storm. The Sierra was in what we call a snow drought. There was hardly any snow up there prior to this Christmas storm, but man, that things really changed. Between December 23rd, that was Tuesday, right, and Saturday, December 27th, here's our storm total snowfall. Mammoth, 73 inches. North Star, 68 inches. Homewood, 67 inches of snow. Palisades, Tahoe, 65 inches. Sierra at Tahoe, 62 inches. Kirkwood at 60 inches. Sugar Bowl also at 60 inches. Boreal, 51. The UC Berkeley Sierra Snow Lab up near Donner, 49 inches of snow. Heavenly, 46 inches of snow. This is several feet. As expected, that is awesome news. That is what we needed, not only for the ski resorts to get out there and snow, but also to start to build that snowpack, which again was really, really hurting up until this Christmas storm. The Northern Sierra now average to date 50% of average, Central Sierra 77% of average, and the Southern Sierra 95% of average. But of course, that's average to date. What we really care about is how are we doing compared to our April 1st average. April 1st is usually peak snowpack for the Sierra. So we like to measure everything against that average on April 1st. Well, right now, the Northern Sierra, 16% of that April 1st average, 26% of that April 1st average in the Central Sierra, and 30% of that April 1st average in the Southern Sierra. So we're getting there. It's better. It's still early. We see a lot more snow in January and February. December, yeah, it gets us going. It kind of is that kind of starting point, that stepping stone, but then usually we see a lot more in January and February. So this is okay. Obviously, we would hope it's better, but this is okay, assuming we're going to get a lot more snow over the next couple of months. Statewide, here's what those numbers are. 74% of average today, 24% of that April 1st average. So we're a quarter of the way there. But again, we're not anywhere near the end of our rain and snow season, so it's okay. let's pump the brakes on any panic here. There's more to come, as we talked about, more snow on the way. We're talking about another 1 to 2 feet of snow in the high country by the time this system starts to wrap up. So you see the days in red there, those are those impact alert days, right, where we're going to see those rain showers building the evening of December 31st, and then basically off and on rain all the way through Saturday, lingering into Sunday before it starts to wind down there. The majority of the snow is going to fall the latter half of Friday in towards the morning of Sunday before it starts to wind down in the high country there. So definitely more rain to come, 1 to 2 inches in the valley at best. Snow levels starting high, coming down as we get into the weekend, but another 1 to 2 feet of snow at the ski resorts and the high passes is expected as we go into the weekend. So not too bad. Of course, the one thing is we would kind of wish that that would be dry, right, for New Year's Eve, so we could get out and celebrate and see those fireworks. But we'll see how things pan out. Again, we may be dry across parts of Northern California by the time we get to midnight, and it may be showery for others in Northern California at midnight. We're just going to have to kind of wait and see where those showers set up. So just something to be mindful of as we start off 2026, and you can always keep up with the very latest on this incoming storm. We've got extended forecasts, we've got weather explainers, we've got weather and climate specials. That's on the ABC 10 app. You can download it wherever you stream. We also have our newest weather special up there, California's Power Struggle, where we investigate our power grid here in California and how climate is making things a little bit more interesting. Climate change putting a bit of a strain on our grid at times, but California is doing a fairly good job of keeping up with that. If you want to watch that whole thing for yourself, it's on that ABC 10 app. Again, it's free wherever you stream. You can download it there. Thanks for watching.